All right, so we've gone over the basics of using VI to edit a file, and that's really all you need to know. We're going to talk about a few more advanced things in this video, in particular search using regular expressions. All right, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cd into /etc, and then I'm going to type in vim passwd. So that is the password file, and it looks something like this. So you have the username, colon, then the hash for their password, although not really anymore, and then their user ID or their user number, group number, their main group, and then their the last thing is their shell. Okay, and we are in command mode, so I use the J button or the J key to go down, and I go all the way down to the bottom, and we see that the last user account here is Sane Damon. There's a Postgre Damon, yada yada yada. It's a big mess of text, and it's not easy to read or to see things or to find what I'm looking for. So we might want to search this, and we do that most effectively using regular expressions. Let me show you what I mean. So let's go to command line mode and then hit slash. This is a search using regular expressions, and I'm going to type in SQL. And there are two instances of SQL in this file, right? So on line 20, right up here at the top, I have MySQL as the name of the user ID, and I hit N to go to the next instance, and it takes me down to line 37, where SQL is part of PostgreSQL, right? Part of the Postgres user account. And remember, there's a very important thing in VI. When I do a search, I can hit the N key to keep searching. And see, you notice when I get to the bottom and I hit N again, at the bottom of the window it says search at bottom, continue at top. I can also go backwards using capital N, right? And then notice now it says search at top, continuing at bottom. So N for next, capital N searches backwards if there are a whole lot of instances. Let's do one that it will find a lot. Let's search for a colon, and you see there's like a million colons that it can find, and I can go backwards with capital N. But let's go back to searching for SQL, right? So I have two instances, but suppose the one I really want. The one I really want is where I don't know what the first two letters are. I just know the line starts with SQL. How could I find that? Well, there are a few different ways. We can use special symbols in a regular expression to represent different things. The most common one, the most important one to know is a dot. So if I search for ... SQL, the dot matches any character. And so MySQL up at the top has two characters and then SQL. And then notice on line 37, it is now matching at RESQL because the RE matches the dot. If I was to search again and then do 3 dots and then SQL, well, what do you know? It only finds the second one. Because remember, up on the prior line, there are only 2 characters. So it can't match that. So a dot matches any character, but it needs a character to be there. If I wanted to match the beginning of a line and then 2 characters, right, and then whatever string that I'm searching for, I would do : caret ... SQL. And now I'm hitting N, and you see it's only matching the line 20, right? So this is a lot all at once. You don't need to memorize every single regular expression character in VI. But some of them do come up a lot. So the ones that come up a lot are dot for any character, caret to indicate the beginning of the line. A lot of times you're just looking for the first instance of something. Another special character that comes up a lot is the star. The star means match whatever the prior character was 0 or more times. So where does that come up a lot? A lot of times you'll see something like this. I'm going to say search the beginning of the line, match any character 0 or more times until we see SH. And you see all of these lines have an SH somewhere in them, so it matches. Right, so any line that has an SH in it, that will match. So the star character means match whatever comes right in front of it any number of times. It should be 0 or more times. All right. Another common, a common special character you want to search for is /D, which is a digit. So let's do /D, /D, /D. And actually, let's do this. Let's search for 3 digits inside a colon. Right? So any of these characters, or any of these lines here where we have 3 digits inside a colon, so here we have 102 inside a colon, and then 103. Now you might notice, hey, how come when I hit N, it goes to the next line instead of matching the next one here? Well, when you use Vim to search, it always matches the first thing on the line, right? So when you search again, it's looking for the first instance on the line. There are instances where you want to, match the second or third, and there are ways to do that, but that gets into more complicated regular expressions. We just want to learn just enough to be dangerous at this point, right? So /D whenever you want to represent a digit. I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of the time when you search, you're just going to type in the actual characters that you're searching for, right? But when you need to match any character, you use a dot. When you need to match a digit, you use /D. When you need to match a character 0 or more times, you use that star. To match something to the beginning of the line, you use the caret. Those are the most common ones. The point of this exercise is not for you to become an expert in regular expressions. We will have another lesson where we get more into regular expressions, but that's not the point. The point is just so you have an idea of how we search and how you use the N, the next, to move through the search. One last thing that you can do in Vim is search and replace. And I'm going to, before I start that, I'm going to show you line numbers. And when you do search and replace, you're going to go to command line mode, and then you have to specify the actual lines that you want this search and replace to apply to. So I'm going to start with, say, lines 19 to line 25. And then I use S to make sure to indicate that it's a search and replace. And then I put whatever I'm searching for. I'm searching for SQL, and then another slash, and then comes whatever I want to replace it with. I want to replace it with XXX. And if I want it to do it case insensitive, I use I. If I wanted to do it multiple times on the same line, I use G for global. Right? And we see on line 20, the lowercase SQL that was right here was replaced with XXX. And then the uppercase SQL that was over here was replaced with XXX. That is what that line means. Right? If I want it to affect all of the, I'm going to hit U to undo that change. If I want it to affect all of the lines on the whole file, then I go into command line mode and I use percent sign. Percent sign means every line, S, and then we'll do it again, SQL, and we'll replace it with XXX, and we'll make it case insensitive and global, And we see that it affected line 37 and it affected line 20 this time. So it affected both lines. So regular expressions work for search and search and replace. And they are incredibly useful for searching through these giant, dense files that you're going to have to edit as a Linux administrator. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know.